Nice squeaky ending. That was
squeaked
cool.
out. We squeaked out the end. Hey, everybody. Rob Riggle here. Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. With me, as always,
I'm Darren Leader.
Darren Leader. We got Gary and Claire in the booth, a.k.a. Clary.
There, yeah, AmeriClaire.
AmeriClaire.
She's an American
She's
citizen
an American
now.
citizen. Come on.
Though, let's just be real. She was on the way. She was running late, and she texted everybody, and she said, I'm running late. I'm on the interstate.
Now, what's wrong with that?
The problem with that is no one says that in America. Nobody goes, I'm on the interstate. And look, Claire is brilliant. She's sweet.
Why don't people say that? What do you think they say?
No one says that in California. I think Americans.
Yeah, people
Who
say
says I'm on the interstate?
That's what the I stands for.
Yeah, that's I-95.
Yeah, you go, I'm on the I-80. You say
Freeway
I'm
80.
I don't want to have this argument in front of everybody, Claire, because it's not going to go well for you.
Now, hold on. What is the preferred nomenclature in your American mind?
In my California mind, if
Yes.
I'm on the freeway, I say I'm on the freeway or I'm on the 101 or the 405, which is arrogant because there are other freeways, right?
You are a Californian.
Yeah, bro. What's up?
You're a Californian. You talking, take Vincente all the way over to Van Nuys, and then you get
Crossover La Brea.
Crossover La Brea.
That's the best skit ever, dude. Then I took the 10 and I got off at Bundy.
You need to get out of here, Darren.
Get out of here, Darren.
Yeah, take the Van Nuys all the way down to Santa Monica and then get on the 405.
What are you doing here, Rob? That shit is so close to real. It's amazing.
It's shockingly and scary how real that is.
You know what's really weird is, I'm born and raised here in California, and when people come here, I've spoken to them, they're like shocked everybody doesn't walk around with a surfboard and shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not the deal.
So you would have preferred...
If she said, I would...
I always say highway. I'm on the highway. I'm on the highway.
I think here, I think in Southern California, you say, I'm on the freeway.
Okay. But the interstate really, that pushed a button on you. That upset you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
interstate made you feel uncomfortable.
It made me feel like somebody took something away from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, all Claire can do is work on it and try to, improve.
You know what? I could try to be better too.
Yeah.
And be more understanding and flexible with the words. I don't think I'll be able to, but I'll try.
So, Claire, in the future, if you just refer to it by the number or the, say, freeway or highway, the highway is justifiable.
Or I'm late.
But interstate, I just say, maybe don't say interstate, maybe.
Yeah. Not if you want people to know you're American.
Can I ask a question, Claire? Is that a Canadian thing?
I don't know. I didn't think that it was.
It sounds like a non-issue to me. It sounds like Darren woke up this morning in a mood.
It's a big deal.
So
it matters.
Okay. I don't think it matters that much. But, hey, listen, we'll all just agree to try to do better.
Yeah, well, okay. I guess that's what we'll do.
Okay. Well, anyway, welcome to America, Claire.
Yeah. Did you come here on the interstate?
Okay.
No, I came here on the freeway.
Okay. See,
she is American.
She's making the effort.
And I appreciate that, Claire. I don't want to fight anymore.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We have a guest today.
What?
I know. I'm excited, actually, for this one. Michael Kosta from The Daily Show, my old stomping grounds.
You know that guy is, like, really good looking.
Yeah, and he's an athlete.
Are you threatened?
Please.
What?
Totally.
I thought so. Dude, he's young, tall, strapping, good-looking guy who beats the crap out of a tennis ball.
He's smart. He's funny.
Yeah.
And
people like him.
Very likable.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited. I've only watched him from afar. I've watched him on The Daily Show, and I've watched some of his stand-up. Mm-hmm. And, I think he's very talented. So I'm excited to actually meet him and talk to him.
It sounds like... Look, I'm going to reserve my judgment. You seem very, very excited for
I'm
me.
excited.
That's cool.
I like having fun guests, and I love that he agreed to do our show, especially with you. Never mind. Anyway.
You know what I'm noticing, though?
Yeah.
So you were on The Daily Show,
yeah,
right? And then you went off and you had your TV and your movies and all the things, and now you're here, right? You've landed on your podcast.
Yeah.
This guy is younger.
Yeah.
I think he's taller.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think he's probably more fit.
Okay, well,
he plays tennis.
He's a little younger than I am. He plays tennis.
He's killing the game in life.
He's killing it.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's he going to be doing? Is he going to take your chair?
You think he's going to be sitting here?
I don't know, dude. He's on the path.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just saying.
I think he goes higher. I think he goes higher, further, faster.
Really?
Yeah.
How high do you think Michael Kosta goes?
Late night talk show.
Oh my God. I hope you're right.
I hope so too.
Are you going to try to do that?
No.
Why?
Because I want to be here.
See, that's the greatest answer of all.
Come on.
Thanks, man.
You bet, bro.
Okay. Well, let's talk to Michael.
Let's talk to him. Hey, Gary, can you bring Michael into our, let's call this the arena.
The Thunderdome?
Let's bring him into the Thunderdome. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. We are so lucky to have Daily Show Correspondent Michael Kosta with us today. How fun is that?
It's amazing. On top of being funny, good looking, and successful.
Like us.
Much like ourselves.
Yeah.
He's an amazing tennis player.
Well, and I'm not a tennis player at all.
I know.
And neither are you.
I'm not.
But we are, I think, athletes.
Maybe on this half of the table.
Okay, enough of that. Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us from Brooklyn, everybody. From Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, it is hot, bugs everywhere. They all hatched this morning. And it's just, I don't know about you, Darren. Did you spend time in New York City?
Not any living, but I've been there several times, enough to know that I could not live there. It's just not my jam. It's too gnarly.
I love New York City. I lived there for 10 years, have no regrets, enjoyed it all. But there is something about the summer. The summer changes. It's a little bit, especially now, August, here's what I liked about this. The New York in the summer, in the weekends, everybody clears out. Like they all go to somewhere else other than the city. So, and I didn't have any money to do that. As Michael knows, being a correspondent on the Daily Show, we didn't have any money to go anywhere. So you stay in the city, but you have the whole city to yourself.
It's true.
It's kind of nice.
Were you in the city for 10 years on the Daily Show?
Not on the Daily Show, but I was in the city for 10 years.
Okay. And how many years were you on the Daily Show?
3.
3. Okay.
3 years. 3 years. Yeah. It was 2006 through 2009.
Okay.
Forgive me for not knowing, Michael. Are you originally from New York?
No, I'm originally from Michigan. I'm a Michigander. If you want to see exactly where I'm from,
yeah, show us. Everybody does the hand thing.
This is a huge thing. We're very proud of this. We're very proud of this. So I'm Midwest at heart. New York City continues to defeat me. It continues to humble me. It continues to make me cry. There's no other place like it on earth. And I submit, New York City, I submit to you.
Can I be honest with you? You kind of nailed it because I'm a Midwesterner as well. And when I got to New York, I went, as I classify it, I went against the grain for 2 years. I just couldn't get in the rhythm of the city, and I was pissed at everybody. And I was like, nobody has any manners here. And I was just pissed. And then something changed. You finally just go with the grain. All of a sudden you start going with it. And the city becomes much easier. It becomes very fun. Actually, I fell in love with it. But the first 2 years, I wanted to kill everybody in the city.
You know that Buddhist saying, "Don't push the river."
Yeah.
All I do is push the river here.
Yeah.
And then once you learn to get in the river and let the river take you, it's quite fun. I used to do a joke about it on stage that I wrote because it was true. Yeah. I was so depressed is the wrong word. Just out of sorts when I first moved to New York, and this was 10 years ago. There's a couple different trips in between. I actually found a pill on the sidewalk, and I just picked it up and swallowed it. Because
amazing.
I just said, it's got to be better than what I'm feeling now, right?
Did anything happen?
And that is crazy to think I did that because I have like a family now.
Yeah.
And like that could be so many things.
Was there a result from the pill?
So I became a opioid addict after that.
Copy that.
Wow, that happened fast.
Not many people remember their first time.
Yeah. I don't remember a significant change in demeanor. I was a few beers in at that point, so it's hard to really know. But no, there wasn't a big moment.
So I have a question. So let's just say we're in the future, your Daily Show career wraps up, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I'm going to decide where I'm going to live. Will it be in New York, or will it be back in the Midwest, or is it an adventure?
Or are you coming out here to L.A.?
Yeah, this is such a great question, and I'm curious to hear what Rob says about this too, because I've spent more time now in LA and New York than I probably spent in Michigan. And man, I love going home to Michigan, and you ask somebody where a good restaurant is, and they don't even say it's good. They say, "Ooh, it's big portions over there."
Oh, okay.
Hey, great portions. But
Great portions.
New York and LA, it's like there's great food here. There's some great food here. I love Michigan. I understand the rhythms of the Midwest better. I've got kids. I don't know the answer to that question, Darren, and I didn't know that my wife called you ahead of time and said, ask him this very important question that he's going to solve on Riggle's Picks.
I told her I didn't want to make it obvious. I told her I would try to make it disguised, but you know what? She wants to know.
She wants
By
to
the
know.
way, I want to go back real quick, if you don't mind. Like, I got to go back to the pill off the ground.
Yeah, sure.
Because I remember one of the first, within the first year or two I was in New York, I was sitting in one of those Kosta coffee shops.
Cafe, coffee.
Yeah, coffee, yeah. Kosi. Is that what it's called? Kazi?
I don't know.
Kosta?
I only know Kosta.
It's
The
all I
Kosta
know-
coffee, for real. There you go.
And also, I mean, it was, I didn't have Starbucks money, so that's what I had, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in there and I'm just watching people, right? And I'm trying to figure out life. And I saw something similar where a guy comes up and he takes one last pull off his cigarette, and throws it on the ground and walks off. Immediately, the guy walks up, picks it up the ground, and keeps it going, smokes it, and he walks off. I was like, wow, that just happened. So that's very New York, by the way. I just want you to know. It's very...
And it is a lesson in gratitude too, like I am mad that this and this and this, and you go outside and you're like, that person would change positions with me so fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
It's crazy how we get like this, our vision. We go, oh man, this sucks, and then when you kind of step back, you go, oh, it's not that bad.
Well, that's why I call it the 30,000-foot view as opposed to the 3,000-foot view.
Yeah.
Or the 30-foot view. But I wanted to learn more about Michael Kosta. That's what I want to learn about because obviously we share experience on the Daily Show and what it's like being a correspondent. That's always a challenge. I mean, it is probably one of the most challenging jobs I've ever had in my entire life. Truly.
Tell me why you say that. I agree with you, but tell me why you say that.
I say it because I guess my Midwestern manners, it was always hard for me to challenge people in a provocative way when I was out doing field pieces. I love doing in studio because it was all, we get to script those and you get to play and there's but when you're out in the field, those field pieces are hard because it's you, a field producer, and whoever, whatever topic you're going after. And it's ruthless.
There's no safety net. You don't know really what's going to happen, right?
And you're going in there, and usually the formula, and it's not always the case, but a lot of the time it was, we were doing the opposite. So we would, if there was a mom who wanted to have cupcakes at their school, we would go after the mom as if she was out of her mind, and support the school board, right? And so doing that kind of twist, it was funny comedically. It always served the piece, but then you'd have to sit there and kind of give the mom a really hard time.
That's
and
rough.
you couldn't tip your hat. You couldn't say, "Hey, I'm just teasing," because that would ruin all of the good reactions and the shock and stuff. So you had to sit there and kind of bust this lady's balls or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that was never comfortable for me. It was always hard.
And the audience gets the pressure release of the laugh, but we are standing in the pipe filled with pressure.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I remember one time the government shut down, whenever this was. This must have been...
The most recent one.
Yeah, the most recent government shutdown. And they sent me to D.C. on the train, and that we were trying this new thing where a producer was wearing a backpack that was transmitting live to the edit bay.
Okay, wow.
So they could kind of watch Man on the Street live and offer feedback or whatever, because they were trying to do a quick turnaround the same day. So we get there, and it was a protest, and one of our security guards, who was all these security guards were like Afghanistan vet. I mean, they were unbelievably skilled at defusing, de-escalating, and I look over, and he's just got a bloody lip. And I'm like, why does my, current Marine security guard have a belly lip? But it was very clear right away that this was not a funny situation. People were very distraught and hurt from the government being shutting down. And I'm interviewing this woman, and she starts weeping that now that the government is shut down, her kid can't get the medication. And the editor in the Bay in New York comes back and tells me, like, dig into this a little more. And I'm like, she's weeping because her kid doesn't have medication.
Oh my
gosh. It is hard. It's hard. It goes against everything my mom taught me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing.
That's rough.
It really,
hug that woman.
And I think that's the thing that people don't appreciate. Like, they think it's all scripted, or it's all, they know they're in on the joke or whatever. And I'm like, no, they're not. People are reacting very honestly and real, and you have to push their buttons. Yeah. And it's not fun. I remember we were at the Obama, when he first got inaugurated, or he won the nomination in Denver at the big DNC in 2008. And, there were people who had waited their whole lives to see this moment. There were African Americans in the audience that tears in their eyes, and they wanted John Oliver and I to go around and just bust people, like, what's going on right now, and they'd be like, seriously, people would go, seriously, dude, shut up. You'd be like, I don't want to do this either.
Oh, that's heavy duty.
Yeah.
It's heavy duty. And I think your time there was a little more, confrontational is the wrong word, cantankerous, a little more than where we're at now. It's also just societally, it's not seen, it's not as acceptable. But yeah, it's a hard job. I also feel, Rob, do you feel like it prepared you for whatever the hell you wanted to do next? I hope.
Totally.
Please say
yes. Absolutely yes.
Just say yes.
100%. 100%. And I only met Trevor a couple times, so I didn't get to work with him. But I worked with John Stewart, and he was a great boss and really was a great mentor, because he took time to. He knew I was green. He knew I was very green, and he knew I didn't know a lot of things, but he was very patient with me. So I'll always be grateful for that.
I always remember that piece where you went from, you turned into the hippie. What was that piece? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was the Code Pink, the ladies.
Okay,
the
that's
Code
what
Pink
it was.
ladies.
That was a great. I mean, it sucks because I know how you feel. You've done 100 field pieces. Some of them have been extremely way harder than that. And here comes me being like, the one where you dressed as a hippie. But it's same with people always go, this one, I like this one. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just stood out in Lake Michigan in November for an hour, for 2 hours. You never even saw that one. But that one was memorable for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
So Michael Kosta comes to New York. He plays tennis at a very high level. I want to get.
I have a question about.
Hold on,
this.
I want to get to know Michael.
Okay, well, I was going to take it back further.
Oh, go.
Because clearly,
how deep are you going to go, man?
I'm going super deep.
Jesus.
Going deep.
Super deep.
So deep.
Clearly, you're funny, engaging, handsome, but you're also a tennis player. So as a kid, tennis comes first, or cracking up your friends comes first? And which one do you enjoy more as a kid as you're coming up? And because it's clear that you were like split between two things that you were passionate about.
Yeah.
Man, Rob, it is good you have Darren on the show.
That's right. That's right.
Because this is
That's why I get $20 for the day. Let's go.
I believe, when comedy's done at its best, it gets us back to cracking up your friends, right? That feeling, right? Isn't that just what it's all about? I mean, it's like the bikes or wherever you riding with your friends, or if it's the locker room, whatever it is. But in my house, youngest of 4, comedy was about saying "I love you" without ever saying that word, those words. Don't ever tell your brother you love him. Don't ever tell your sister you love her. So you teased. Teased. That was, and I remember bringing friends over, and I would say, I think your dad hates me. I say, that actually means he loves you.
Right.
He just made fun of your haircut for 20 minutes. He loves you. He would never do that if he didn't,
That's him engaging. That's him engaging.
It's him engaging. So for me, it was getting mom and dad's attention. Youngest of 4, it was teasing. But what happened to me, I was good at tennis. I love tennis. I love the sport, but I was good at it. And so all of a sudden the attention one receives, especially in the Midwest when you're good at sports. I mean, come on. It's like
Right.
I really liked that. I liked that I was getting attention. I liked that I was winning stuff. And it wasn't until later when I entered professional tennis when all you do is lose and you realize there's some Russian kid who's been playing on a parking lot with a rope tied between two cars and who like is frothing at the mouth to annihilate you, that I said, oh, this isn't actually, I like the sport, but what I really love and have a passion for and what I grew up watching, laying on the floor in my living room was Craig Kilborn's Daily Show.
Yeah, there you go.
It was Dennis Miller's rants.
That's hilarious. Those were my favorite too.
The rants still don't even know what half those words are. But just the arrogance, the confidence, the ability to be an expert. And this is very Daily Show too. You know, Rob, like he's solving the Soviet Union in a 30-word rant. It's just beautiful. I love the audacity of that. So long-winded answer, comedy to get my parents' attention, tennis because I was good at it. And then it was like, oh shit, I love this comedy thing.
That's awesome. That's good. That's a great journey.
And again, my question was amazing.
Darren, who are you? Who's Darren?
Yeah, I mean, please don't ask that. Please don't.
Are you guys friends? Are you friends from like military?
People use the word friends sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm on board.
I owe Darren so much money.
Okay, there it is.
And so this is part of my pay down process.
I was like, we can work it down. We can shave off $100K if you let me do the podcast with you. No, you know what? Who am I? I don't even know who I am. I just know that Rob and I met. I was playing a show in Vegas years and years ago.
Okay.
He, a mutual friend who does comedy, brought him to a show. We hit it off, found out we lived very close to each other, and we both golf.
Oh, cool.
And so then it was the golf relationship.
Yeah.
And then I remember we went to TPC Valencia.
Yeah.
And on the way, we carpooled. On the way, we're in the truck. No one's around. And we kind of busted into a skit with no one around.
Just doing a bit. Just doing a bit.
But
it was natural. It just fell into place. Like I didn't have to give him the look and the wink and the nod. He just knew that I was insane, and he played the straight man. And all of a sudden, we're doing a bit. I was like, oh my god, this is happening.
And that
this is how men hug.
Yeah, this is how men hug.
That's a man hug right there.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And so from there, we've just been buddies. I use that term loosely. And we golf and we hang and now we do this. He asked me to join him.
I think it's really cool. Went out to the course Friday, first time of the year here. I know you guys just get to play whenever you want.
Yeah, you have golf seasons.
It's a golf season, and I play at this really crappy course in Pennsylvania. I got there. There's a sign up that says, "Just leave your money." Isn't that great? Isn't that unbelievable?
Love that.
Just
That's
leave
amazing.
In this world,
and I know. Course is in terrible shape. I sprained my ankle, but
how'd you hit it?
Great. And even funnier, we had not a true emergency, but we had a daycare pickup emergency. Times got screwed up, so I had to leave after the 7th hole. But it was great. I played 7 holes. It's just I'm walking. I don't know if you guys walk there, but it's amazing.
I like to walk.
It's my experience that baseball players and tennis players make great golfers.
Interesting.
Because they know how they have wonderful eye-hand coordination, and they know how to use their body when they strike.
Yeah.
Marty Fish, a great tennis player, great golfer though. Yeah. I mean, probably as good a golfer as he is a tennis player. He wins the Tahoe tournament almost every, or is in the running every year.
I would throw hockey players in that too.
Yeah,
because
same
the
thing.
timing of the slap shot and the motion.
They have the coordination of
What frustrates me the most about golf, coming from tennis, is that the ball is stationary. And I just infuriates me that I can, when the ball is coming at me at 80 miles an hour, I feel more prepared than this thing just sitting there mocking me.
That's fascinating.
In high school, I took a year and went down and trained at the Saddlebrook Tennis Academy.
That's very famous down in Florida, isn't it?
Down in Florida. And that's where I befriended Marty Fish. Marty Fish. And I hope he hears this. I was better than Marty Fish for 5 months.
I love it.
For 5 months. I didn't like the tennis academy experience. I went back home to Michigan. Literally the next time I saw Marty Fish, I was on television. He was in the round of 16 of the US Open. I mean, the guy just took off. And I remember we used to, after tennis, used to grab as many clubs as we could and we'd go to the golf course. I mean, even then at age 14, he was a scratch golfer, unbelievable golfer.
Yeah. He's a skilled athlete, no doubt about it.
Is that where Agassi went?
I think it's where
that
all.
tennis
I think
academy?
all
that
the
was Bollettieri.
greats.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of the greats go through the academy. The one you're talking about, Saddlebrook?
Saddlebrook. When I was there, Pete Sampras was there.
Yeah.
Jennifer Capriati was there.
Oh, my gosh.
But I mean, again, this is just because I'm saying their name doesn't mean that I played at that level.
Right.
I don't know. To me, guilt by association. You were there. Same
True, I
thing.
was there.
You know,
It
I
was
think,
fun.
and I'm not a professional tennis player. I want to just make that clear
Well,
in case you didn't know.
We were
I
all
think the
worried.
neck
We were all
tattoos
concerned
gave
about
it away.
it.
Yeah.
I know. But it seems to me like, probably like professional golf, even being a professional tennis player, the difference between the Pete Samprases and the Federers, and then maybe the guys who are number 50 in the world, it's a pretty big difference, isn't it?
Oh man, the top 3 is like a whole different thing compared to the top 50, compared to the top 200. My highest ever, it's still my signature on my email, is number 864. That was my highest ever, and I'm still
In the world.
probably
In the world. That's
in the world.
amazing.
It's a global rank. But I mean, it's just also in tennis they rank everybody. Wouldn't you love if comedy did that? Like, hey man, I killed. I just went to the Improv in Irvine. It's like, no, you didn't. We saw your ranking. You're fucking 3,000.
Whatever number 951.
Whatever. Exactly.
Whatever, 1,732,000.
Exactly. In tennis, though, you can be cocky for a second, and then they print that computer, and you're like, oh, I can't be that cocky. But there's different levels within levels, and in order to make money in tennis, you need to at least be top 200, and I was nowhere near that. But it's fun to watch other athletes struggle with golf.
So let me get to the Daily Show too, because nowadays, John has come back to do Monday nights. How is that, having John back in the building and having him back around? What's that been like?
It's great. It's great. It's like when Jordan came back to the league, but when he came back to the Bulls, not the Wizards.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Right. When he went from 23 to 45. Remember this number?
Exactly. Yeah, the numbers changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Look, for me, I mean, you described already working with John. This is someone that was a comedy idol, still is, but now he's a co-worker, kind of, just trying to learn. I mean, he is so effortlessly funny. I've had a few chances at the desk. I just hosted last week.
Yes, I saw, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah,
what a cool experience. I thought you did a great job, by the way.
Thank you. It's so fun, and just something as simple as I hosted a couple months ago, and we were on a meeting with John. I said, John, I felt like I was wearing my grandpa's suit, wearing my dad's suit, all at the same time. Yeah. And he goes, he goes, dude, you want to see awkward hosting? Look at the first 3 years I hosted the Daily Show. And even just a little sentence like that puts you at ease.
It does. That's
Right.
why.
This
that's
is
why I
hard.
thought he was such a great leader. And
This
like
takes
I said,
a while. Yeah, this takes reps. Chill out. And so it's great. It's
Good.
great. And you can feel defeated when you see how easy it can come to people. I forget who said it. You don't get inspired by greatness. You get inspired when you kind of see like shit. Yeah. And you go, well, I know I can do that.
Is hosting
With John, you're like, oh shit, I'm so far away from me right now. But
is hosting something you could see yourself doing?
I love hosting. I've always wanted to host. The problem is, what is there? 4 shows?
Yeah.
Three shows. So it's like, I've always loved hosting. I've always loved, I stayed up late as a kid watching Carson, I loved that. And so I would love that. But until that happens, it's going to be Zoom podcasts and stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You have a podcast.
I do. Tennis Anyone podcast. Thank you for pushing. Darren is really the
He's on his game
that holds
tonight.
this thing together.
He's really sharp.
I'm right on the edge of failing, but so far I'm killing.
Let's talk about also, you had a stand-up special a couple years back, didn't you?
I did.
And are you planning to do another one or what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm going to do another one. I don't have anything figured out yet. I have the hour. I'm on tour all the time. Next up is the Vermont Comedy Club.
In
Then
Burlington?
we're in Rochester. We go everywhere. It's all on my website. But yeah, I mean, I love stand-up comedy. It's how I got at anything ever. I don't know if that was the sake for you, Rob, but just the idea of creating a point of view and finding funny stuff has just helped me figure everything else out in showbiz.
Yeah. No, I think in show business, unless you are one of 20 actors, if you want to get any traction, you got to build your own thing. You just have to build your own thing. No one's going to build anything for you. So you got to go out there. And the best way and usually the quickest is to do that via stand-up.
Yeah.
And I did the UCB Theater in New York.
Okay.
So it was a lot of improv and sketch.
Yeah.
And that's where I got a lot of my stage time. It wasn't until I was actually on the Daily Show and I shared an office with Oliver, and I used to make him go down to the UCB and do monologues for our
That's
Ass
great.
Cat show. And then he was like, all right, now you need to come with me and do stand-up. And I was like, oh, man, I tried it when I first got to New York, and I sucked.
Right.
So I was like, he was like, it'll get better. So he helped me, actually. He was a very good
That's
mentor
cool.
to help me kind of learn. And then I was able to build a set and do stand-up from that point. And I always appreciated that. So
What was sharing an office with John Oliver? I mean that's just so crazy to me that's like, and now he, the last time I saw John Oliver, he's holding like 5 Emmys backstage. It's like, this was your office mate.
Yeah. What's so funny is, he had a great work ethic and I always loved it. But I love to do bits, and I'm like a child who, if I'm bored, I'm going to self-entertain.
Right.
And so I would just agitate him until he would do bits with me.
Right.
And, his desk was against this wall and mine was against, like we made an L shape. And if we backed our chairs up at the same time, we'd hit each other. So I used to just call him because we had line extensions,
Love
so
that.
I would
God,
call
that's
him.
Good. That's good.
And he would see that it was me. And he had his back to me, but he God bless him, he would pick up the phone and answer it and play the bit with me. I'd be
That's
a
good.
pizza delivery guy. I'd be a guy with lab results. I'd be a guy, I'd be a guy from England who had, wanted to, rent his flat there, and just anything I could come up with. And he would sit there and play the bit for
good.
5-10 minutes, and then when I was satisfied, I'd hang up and he'd go back to work. But just nonstop bits. That's what it was.
My favorite memory of we interviewed John, and I hadn't met him. Obviously, Riggle knows him, and the Zoom is about to come on. I'm like, because I'm a fan of John Oliver.
Yeah, sure.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Zoom comes on, and he's got double fingers like this, and that just set it immediately. I went, that guy's cool. Like right out of the gate, he's like, "What's up?" I was like, that just set the tone for the interview, and he was everything that I'd hoped he would be.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Absolutely.
I love this year when he challenged Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court justice, to basically retire with $1 million from John Oliver and his family a year.
That's amazing.
And one of the perks of being Daily Show correspondent, you probably know this, Rob, is somehow the New York Knicks think I'm famous. So I've been getting some nice tickets. I've been getting some nice tickets, okay? And I'm, let's just say because they love Michael Kosta, not because of Daily Show. So I had a couple nice tickets, and I was talking with John, and his wife was there, and I said, dude, like, peel back the curtain. Like, you really, is that really your money? And he goes, dude, I had to like sit with our family trust and like go over this because legally I was offering Clarence Thomas $1 million. I go, Jesus, such a good bit. Ballsy.
Yeah.
And Clarence Thomas had 30 days to accept, and he did not accept.
Man, that's heavy duty.
That is heavy duty.
Yeah, it's
Good
heavy.
for
love
him.
The cast, your fellow Daily Show correspondents, and you have a great lineup going on right now. It feels like the show is really, it's I don't know, it's cooking with gas right now. How are you feeling?
It's cooking. We got this fun kind of best of both worlds with Jon Stewart. He comes on Mondays. He crushes it. He shows us the way a little bit, and then the correspondence single host Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's always been a dream of mine to host. So now I kind of get to in a safe environment, so to speak.
Totally.
And
you get to do it a little bit at a time. You're not carrying the full weight.
Yeah.
Of it, which is so great. That's a great way to get that traction.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard. The job is hard. I was.
It's a daily show. That's
it's a daily show, and there's this snowball that's moving, and it doesn't stop if you're sick. It doesn't stop if you and your wife are fighting.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop if you don't have a funny thing to say today. I mean, that's, I was hosting on Wednesday, and I'm like, are these the news stories today?
Is this what I got to work with?
You got to work with. You really see why Trump is so effective at getting attention, because when you're really creating a show every day, what do we got? Well, there he is again.
Yes.
He said something again. It's like, okay, that gives us something, and this is the news
He's the
channels
gift.
do this as well.
He is the gift that keeps on giving. He really, really is for entertainers.
He
Anyway.
understands how our media works. He speaks in short bursts at a first grade level. Like, it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's hard. I can't see myself doing it when I'm 60, but again, I grew up watching the show, and now I get to be on it. It's a privilege. I love it.
It is. You're totally right, and you're right about the grind, because it is a grind, and just like you listed off, there's no mercy. There's just no mercy. There's no way out. There's no mercy. There's no time down. You just grind, day and night, day and night, day and night.
When
And
you were
these fuckers on YouTube, I mean, sometimes their comment will be like, well, why didn't Kosta ask this? And I'm like, that's an awesome suggestion, and I wish I would have. You know what? And I was tired because we got in on a 6 a.m. flight that day, and this was our third interview, and our camera, our B operator, was down. And it's just like, you're right, dude. You're right, but I did it, and you didn't, so shut up.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
You're 100% right, though, and that's, I always hate those armchair quarterbacks. I mean,
Here we go.
oh my God.
everyone's a keyboard cowboy.
Everybody's got it figured out, and they would have crushed it. And you're like, you wouldn't have done jack shit. You don't know shit from Shinola.
Yeah. You know what you want to write back?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well,
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But then, of course, that gets used. That gets weaponized. So you have to smile.
Or you write back, and then they write back, oh my God, I didn't know you checked this. I love you.
Totally. Oh, no way. How are you, bro? I love you.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
cool
remember
story.
that. I remember people used to write very provocative things simply to engage.
Correct.
Simply to engage. Just they would poke the bear, say nasty, nasty stuff, and as soon as you responded, they would do exactly what you described, which is just like, hey, what's up? What's up? And you're like, you a-hole, you spun me into a hate level. I don't like to go into hate level.
You let them matter.
Oh, my God.
I love that you played with the phone at the office, because I feel like a lot of the correspondents coming from comedy, like, we don't really know how to do office stuff. And there was like, I had a lot of fun with the phone. There's a whole paging system, which I've had a lot of fun with.
Oh, yeah.
There's this lunch that gets catered every once in a while, and we're always doing gags at the lunch, and it's like, hey guys, can you just grow up, please? But it's like, wait a sec, that's how I got this job.
Exactly.
Yeah, fooling around.
And what keeps the quote unquote tool sharp is by playing with it, by sharpening it, by walking around, doing bits, doing wacky, goofy, silly, obnoxious things is what kind of keeps that comedy muscle toned, in my humble opinion. Yeah. So the fuckery is necessary.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a question. Michael Kosta in 10 years, Michael Kosta in 20 years.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see yourself in the career lane?
And I have an opinion on that too.
On me?
On Michael,
For
yeah,
you.
for
Okay,
you.
Great.
There's a Jiffy Lube down the street.
No.
Man,
I see
I
Michael
have gone-
Kosta. I see Michael Kosta hosting a TV show or in the movies.
I love it. Thank
Okay.
you.
And when I say hosting a TV show, I'm talking about like a late night.
Great.
A late night show, like your own late
do
night
not
show.
disagree.
Send it into the showbiz.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate hearing that from you. I have gone back and forth. I would love to know what you, as grown, successful men, I don't always know about goals. I know it's like, have goals, write them down. I have, and coming from tennis, it was like, have goals, get to this, achieve that. And now as I'm a little bit older and I'm the kids and the career, I realize how much of it is bullshit, how much of it is luck, how much of it is, still keep your head down. I'm just like, I don't know, dude.
You're going with it.
You got to go with what.
Don't push the river, Darren.
Okay.
You got to
I
go.
don't know.
Can you
gotta
tell
go-
me,
hold on.
Can you build a structure to shape the river?
You can do things to help you. What you have to do is identify what you want.
Right. I guess that's my
And
question.
so like with Michael, like he's talking about, like when he probably first got into, and I don't want to put words in your mouth or anything, so correct me if I'm wrong, but when you probably first got into show business and entertainment and comedy, there was one set of, oh, I hope this happens and I want to try to accomplish this and do this. But then as you add ingredients to your life, a wife, children, experience of actually doing the stuff. Then you start going, you know what? I think I feel good in this lane, or I like this idea, or this feels right. This is where I want to be right now. This is where I have the most traction. When I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to be part of this. And if you can identify whatever that is, you're like 90% of the way there. That's my humble.
I love the way you put that. And something that I battle is as you get older, I'm more picky, and it feels like sometimes I'm hanging around as opposed to being active. But then I think I'm picky because I know what lane I want to be in.
Yeah.
I'm picky now because there's not the right opportunity, and some of that is of being a veteran. Not a military veteran. I know you guys.
Entertainment veteran though.
Yeah, entertainment. So
I am not. He is.
Oh, okay. Copy that. So, happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service, Rob.
Oh,
wow.
you're very
What is Memorial Day like for you? Is it a happy day? Is it a sad day?
I always keep it happy.
Good.
Keep it happy. Yeah.
Okay.
Positive remembrance.
Great.
Remembrance.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. So, yeah, I've gone back and forth with goals, and one of the fun things that happened because Trevor left the Daily Show, we were doing this rotating guest host. We weren't exactly sure where we were, where did we stand, was that type of turmoil, that type of uncertainty, that type of unease really got me to evaluate what I wanted. And at the time it feels scary, right? Where am I? And then it's like, no, this is your opportunity to go, dude, you're 40 now. This doesn't go on forever. What do you want? What is, and I'm very appreciative that happened because it got me to sharpen. And me saying to you, I wanted to host 20 minutes ago, that was a thing that I had to really kind of figure out, right? Oh, I'm going to start telling people that because I want them to know that. Now, I always said as a stand-up comic, you asked me about 10, 20 years. I just don't want to die in a hotel room, dude. I just feel like that.
I get that.
Good goal.
So
Good goal.
fucking sad.
Yeah.
It is so sad. And I know a lot of wonderful, talented musicians, and so that's one of the goals.
Right.
That's a great goal to have, by the way. And you're already way ahead of the curve on that, by the way. You've got a lovely family. You've got good friends.
True.
You've had tremendous success in your career. So, I think, and another thing too is that there's always this pressure to keep climbing and achieving, and sometimes it's okay to just be patient and let it come to you a little bit. That's hard to do though. That's super hard to do. Super hard. But if you do it, oftentimes I think that's when the best stuff comes. So that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, and it's so nice to meet you finally.
Yeah.
Finally face to face, because I've watched you for years and I've always enjoyed your work. I think you're amazing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah, fire.
Because Memorial Day was so close, and because I just interviewed Sebastian Younger on our show, who directed that Restrepo, and he's done a lot of war and journalist reporting.
There's a great book called The Tribe or Our Tribe, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, just really intense war reporter. But I'm just curious. Comedy is so silly, and I'm a British guy on the phone with a British guy asking if I can rent his flat. But you've seen the shit. You've seen real stuff. So are you able to keep perspective? But it's also easy to lose perspective. Tell me how that military background it just behooved you, if it has. I don't know.
It never really served anything tangible, but it just gave you a little more intangible situational awareness. Which you can either use or not use for your comedy advantage.
Right.
But no, it's like anything else. It's just life perspective. It gives you a little better understanding of something, maybe a little closer to it than other things. Just like Darren's been in a rock band for years. I would never know what touring with a rock band would feel like. I've only seen movies, and I only have
It's exactly like that.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. But it's just perspective. Yeah.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for.
Thank you.
You
Michael.
already have your mugs printed. Unbelievable.
I mean, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but you can go to Rob Riggle or Riggle's Picks podcast.com. Is that right, Gary?
Yep, that's right.
And you can get all kinds of
Gary, I also
really
want to thank
fun.
you for the 11 emails.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what? Gary was really worried that he would annoy people, and he has.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Gary said to us, he goes, I think everybody's going to everybody hates me now. And we're like, what's up? He's like, I emailed everybody way too much. And it's because we weren't emailing enough. So it's the classic pendulum swinging too far out, overcorrection. And we'll get it centered up pretty soon.
Plus, I don't think people really cared for Gary in the beginning, so I don't think there's any much love lost.
You know what, Michael? I'm very sorry, but I'm very happy that you're here. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for tolerating my holiday weekend emails.
I'm busting your balls. It was a holiday weekend, and it'd be nothing worse than no emails, because then you're like, oh, this definitely isn't happening. But it's happened.
Man, it's a pleasure to talk to you,
guys.
Michael.
I really appreciate it, man. It's so nice to talk to you, brother. Be well.
I'm signing off. Good night.
All right.
Take care.
Good night. Love that guy.
That's a stud.
That was fun.
That's a stud right there.
So that's what a professional looks like. Okay, that's what a professional sounds like. That's what I want you to start doing more of. Okay, great. Gary,
hosting the
great job today.
Thank you very much.
Claire?
I agree that we should get a lot more of that out of Darren.
I'm a little confused. I thought I was really participating, and what you're saying makes me feel like it's not appreciated.
No, listen, we all appreciate Darren?
Yeah, and I'd appreciate a lot more if it was a little more like Kosta.
That's all. That's all we're saying.
Okay.
I think you asked some great questions today. Did Darren ask some great questions today, guys?
He did, but I think Michael asked the best question, which was, Darren, who are you?
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. I didn't know how to answer because I don't know the answer.
I wasn't expecting him to go existential.
He came at me like, who is Darren? I'm like, who is Darren? Is he a spirit in a human body? Is he a body embodying a spirit?
Did the room elongate?
A little bit, yeah. It was like,
I gotta be honest. I count Darren as a friend. I didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't think many people know the answers about me, including myself.
I was flat-footed. I was caught off guard. I'll admit it.
He came in hot.
Because when he asked that of you, I looked over you and I went, yeah, who the F are you?
Right.
As if I had never met you or seen you. You totally became an absolute stranger at that moment.
Do you feel like now we're back to knowing each other, or is it still like we don't know each other?
No, I feel like we're back now.
Me too.
Boom.
That was really great.
That was fun. And I was a fan of Michael Kosta before.
I'm a bigger fan now.
I'm a bigger fan now.
I was a fan of him before for sure, but he brought it.
He did, and I was charmed by him.
Yep, engaging.
I was kind of beguiled. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of a Michael Kosta fan now.
No, he was super funny, and he brought it, and he was engaged. He had questions for you guys.
You're man crushing right now.
I'm man crushing.
You're man crushing on Kosta.
I'm man crushing on Kosta. I dig the dude. He's good to go. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. This has been Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle. This is
Darren Leader.
Of course, we got Gary and Claire also with us. We keep them hidden in the broom closet. But say hi, guys.
AmeriClaire
there you
in
go.
the building.
That's Clary.
That's right, Clary. Hey, thank you for joining us. This has been a blast. A big shout out to Michael Kosta for joining us from the Daily Show. And God bless you. We'll see you next time.